press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, welcome back for model paper 2 discussion. Entire syllabus, this is second paper. According to the weightage, the questions was there for that for about what about that upcoming 10 mega papers. According to the weightage point of view, only paper was designed. So you should go through this model papers and where you observed difficulties. You should go through that particular question video with respect to the particular question. What will be the particular answer? Where you done mistakes, it is easy to find out and rectify your mistakes and don't repeat that. Then it will be good for scoring good marks. So it is a model test paper 2. It is JEE discussion. Question number 26. It is belongs to 15th A group elements. Which among the following is a tetrabasic acid? Which among the following is a tetrabasic acid? Question number 26, number 1 was given orthophosphorus acid. Second one was given orthopyrophosphoric acid. So it is first one is orthophosphoric, pyrophosphoric, hypophosphorus, orthophosphorus. Hypophosphorus, orthophosphorus. So here, my dear students, this is very simple example, simple question it is. Orthophosphoric formula H3PO4, pyrophosphoric H4P2O7, hypophosphoric H3PO2, and orthophosphorus H3PO2. The structure of the compounds are like this. It is a H3PO4, H4P2O7, and third one is and last one is dibasic, monobasic, tetrabasic, tribasic. I think this information is enough. I think it is regarding this question. So, which among the following is tetrabasic acid? Which among the following is tetrabasic acid? Orthophosphoric, pyrophosphoric, hypophosphorus, orthophosphorus. Orthophosphoric, tetrabasic. Sorry, tribasic. This is a tetrabasic. This is a monobasic, and this is a dibasic. So, according to the question, the right answer is a pyrophosphoric acid is a tetrabasic. And one more point was there regarding this one, my dear students. Hypophosphorus. Hypophosphorus is act as the strongest reducing agent. Hypophosphorus is act as strongest reducing agent. So, according to this was the right answer for question number 26. And next one is question number 27. 27 from environmental chemistry, compulsory question for board JEE, environmental and metallurgy compulsory questions. You should thorough the contents regarding environmental and environmental chemistry and metallurgy. It is. Match the entries of list 1 with the appropriate entries of list 2 and select the correct answer using the codes given below the list. List 1 was given pollutants, list 2 was given effects. List 2 global warming, global warming, where you know that is a carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a simple example for global warming. And oxides of sulfur, nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, nitrates in drinking water. So pollutants list 1 given, list 1. Pollutants, and list 2 is effects. List 2 effects. Here there was given number 1 is global warming. All are know global warming it is. And second one is blue baby syndrome, very important. This is blue baby syndrome, direct NCERT or NCERT text it is. And number 3 it is blue baby syndrome is nothing but one of the disease it is. Respiratory diseases. Respiratory diseases, and next one is red haze in traffic. And congested areas, that is in traffic, serious in busy traffic area, and the ice becomes what is red it is. So here oxides of sulfur, Q, nitrogen dioxide, R, carbon dioxide, S, nitrates in drinking water. Nitrates in drinking water, blue baby syndrome. This is very important question. My dear students, make a note regarding this. Nitrates in drinking water leads to the cause to what is the blue baby syndrome. It is a disease. Carbon dioxide, you know, global warming. Carbon dioxide is global warming. Nitrates in drinking water is a blue baby syndrome. So R is equal to 1 and S is equals to 2. Remaining 2 will be there. One is pollutants, oxides of sulfur, and NO2 is there. Pollutants, oxides of sulfur. First one is what it is? Sorry, oxides of sulfur, and second one is NO2 is there. So here already 90% of the question we have to find the proper answer regarding this. Just a minute. So 90% of the question will be finding out it is from this CO2 global warming, CO2 global warming, R1S2, R1S2, R1S2. Last option you should go with last option, R1S2 is there. And P3Q4, P is a 3, P3 means it is a oxides of sulfur. Oxides of sulfur is a respiratory diseases, and nitrogen dioxide is a what about that red haze in traffic and congested areas it is. So oxides of sulfur is a respiratory it is, and nitrogen dioxide is a red haze in congested areas. So it is a P3Q4 R1S2, P3Q4 R1S2, P3Q4 R1S2 is a complete, it is a conceptual question. It is P3Q4 SR1S2. This is a exact right answer. It is outright complete conceptual question. This from what is it? Environmental chemistry. Clear? So next one, question number 28. How does H2O2 differs from O3 in its chemical action? How does H2O2 differs? So here, how does H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, differs from O3 in chemical action? So option was given, it oxidizing PbS to PbSO4. It liberate I2 from Ki, very good. It decolorizing acidified KMnO4. It oxidizing potassium ferrocyanide to potassium ferricyanide. Very good reactions, 4 reactions was there. So out of that reactions, how does H2O2 differs from O3? So H2O2, O3 both are oxidizes PbS to PbSO4. The option, one and only option was regarding that question. It is decolorizing acidified KMnO4. This is a conceptual background question. It is decolorizing acidified KMnO4. H2O to differ from O3. Which chemical reaction means decolorizing acidified KMnO4 is a correct differentiating between hydrogen peroxide versus ozone. Clear? So that only the right answer for the question number 28. It is simple concept background, because of both are react with PbS2 gives PbSO4, I2 reacts with liberate I2 liberate on Ki, and K4 FeCN6 ferrocyanide is +2 oxidized to +3 ferricyanide. So all options are correct, but the third option, it decolorizing acidified KMnO4 is a suitable differentiating test between H2O2 versus K2, sorry, what about that? Ozone. Next question number 48, IUPAC naming. The IUPAC name of the given compound is. Simple question, this is 29. The IUPAC name of this given compound. So here, this is a OH, this is not, here you should go with CH2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is a CH3, this is also CH3, this is also CH3. 3, 3, 5 trimethyl. 3, 3, 5 trimethyl. Total number of carbons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbons hex. First carbon in, second carbon ol. So simple question it is 3, 3, 5 trimethyl hex 1 in 2 ol. Hex 1 in 2 ol is the right answer for this question number 29 according to IUPAC name. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 methyl, 3 methyl, 5 methyl, 1, 2, 3. Trimethyl, 3, 3, 5. First one in, second is ol. So right answer is 3, 3, 5 trimethyl hex 1 in 2 ol. Next question number 30th. Question number 30. M is the molecular mass of KMnO4. The equivalent mass of KMnO4 when it is converted into K2MnO4 is. KMnO4 is converted into K2MnO4. KMnO4 is converted into K2MnO4. Molecular mass given M. So here manganese +6 oxidation state. Here manganese +6 oxidation state. Here manganese is +7 oxidation state. Generally, we know that potassium permanganate undergoes acidic medium, alkaline medium, and neutral medium. Different type of mediums it approaching gives rise to the equivalent weight. How to calculate equivalent weight means molecular weight divided by how many electrons are transferred. Number of electrons transferred from reactants to products. So here from reactants to products +7 oxidation state to +6 oxidation state. How many electrons transferred from this conversion? Only one electron is involving in this reaction. One electron involving in this reaction. So what will be the answer for this question? Equivalent mass of KMnO4. KMnO4 equivalent weight is equal to molecular mass of KMnO4 divided by valency. Valency is nothing but number of electrons, that is equal to m by 1. M by 1 is equal to what is answer is m. In acidic medium m by 5. Remember this. Total 4 options was there. Once you go with that options, except the m by 7, remaining 3 options will be applicable. M by 5, because of reactions going like this, MnO4 minus gives rise to Mn plus 2. MnO4 minus gives rise to MnO2. MnO4 minus gives rise to MnO4 2 minus. Here m by 5, m by 3, m by 1. Because of in all these cases oxidation number 7. This is oxidation number +2. oxidation number +4, oxidation number +6. 7 to 6 divided by 1 electron. 7 to 4 means by 3 electrons. 7 to 2 means by 5 electrons. Acidic medium, strong alkaline medium, and neutral medium. Such cases we should go with this conversion. So according to this, it is KMnO4 is converted into K2MnO4. Then what will be the answer regarding that? Means we are going with the we are going with the direct number of electrons involving from reactants to products. So simple. So answer is M only the answer. Next 31. The heat of formation of dimethyl ether is, we have to calculate that. Given binding energy HH 103 kilocalories, binding energy CH 87 kilocalories, binding energy CO 70 kilocalories, binding energy O double bond O 177 kilocalories. Heat of vaporization of 1 gram atom of carbon is equal to 125 kilocalories. Very important question, interesting question. This such type of questions, if you have to face, then your victory will be, nobody can stop your victory. Clear? If you follow the subject, then victory is on your foot. It is. So heat of formation. Heat of formation, question number 31. Very important. Concentrate this type of questions. Heat of formation of CH3O CH3. So what is equation? 2C solid plus 3H2 gas plus 1 by 2 O2 gas gives rise to what? CH3O CH3. We have to find delta heat of formation, question mark. We don't know. From this question, from this formation reaction, how much energy required to break the 3 molecules of hydrogen bond? Half molecule of oxygen bond. How much energy liberated when formation of 6 CH bonds? Total how many CH3? CH3, CH3, 6 CH3 bonds and 2 CO bonds. Remember it is 2 CO bonds, 6 CH3 bonds, 1 half OO bond and 3 H2 bonds and 2C solid. Solid means 2 gram. 1 gram atom of carbon heat of vaporization according to the question 125 kilocalories was given. 1 gram atom of carbon heat of vaporization 125 kilocalories was there. But in this question, how many gram atoms was there? 2 gram atoms. 2 gram atoms copper heat of vaporization is equals to how much? 2 into 125. 2 into 125. So according to that information, how to find the answer means, so first you should write it involves, what involves it is 2 gram atom of carbon. 2 gram atoms of carbon undergoes what it is vaporization and plus, and what it is 3 moles of H2Be and half mole O2 binding energy, comma 6 CH bonds formation and 2 CO bonds. See this product, number of CH3 bonds 6 CH bonds and CH3O CH3 CO 2 CO bonds, and here is CH3 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 like this. So here we have to find the answer, enthalpy of formation 2 into 125. 125 given in the question. See that, my dear students, 125 was given in the question. That is bonding. What about that heat of vaporization of 1 gram atom of carbon? So this was given. How much it is? 125. and for our convenient I am writing like this, and B of HH this is given 103, this is given 177, and CH given how much CH 87, CO given 70. Right, very good. So here my dear students, 2C 2 into 125 plus 3 into 103 plus 1 by 2 into 177 minus, because of reactants of binding energy of reactants minus binding energy of the products. Binding energy of the products 6 into 87, this is a CH 6CH plus how much 2 into 70, 2 into 70 is what it is, 2CO. So I hope you understood my dear students. 2 into 125 plus 3 into 103 plus 1 by 2 into 177 already given, 177 given, 103 given, 125 given, and CH bond given 87, CO energy also given 170 it is. CH3 means 6 CH bonds, 6 CH bonds plus 2 CO bonds. 6 into 87, what is 6 into 87 is nothing but 6 CH bonds plus 2 into 70, what is 2 into 70, 2 CO bonds. This is products and it is reactants. One is a product, second one is a reactant. So multiply 2 into 125, 250, 3 3 is a 9, 0 3, 2 8 is a 16, 2 8 is a 16, 5 minus 522 plus 140, right. So yeah, 520 to 140, 520 to 140, how much? 266 662, and here 250, 309, 88, 647, 647.5 minus 662, 647.5 minus 662, so 647.5 minus 14.5 is there. Nice. There it is. So this is the answer, minus 14.5. So once again I am explaining this question. Heat of formation, you have to calculate heat of formation. Heat of formation takes place with respect to its own elements. Only heat of formation required to own elements, its own elements. So on the basis of that, what is the heat of formation? 2C plus 3H2 plus 1 by 2 O2 gives rise to CH3O CH3. Here given heat of vaporization given 125, 2 into 125, and binding energy H2 molecule given 103, 3 into 103. Bond breaking energy oxygen given 177, 1 by 2 into 177, minus formation of CH3O CH3 bonds given, CH bond given, that is 87, CO bond given 70, 6 CH bonds, 6 into 87, 2 CO bonds, 2 into 70, 140, and 522 we will get 662, 647.5. So final we will get the answer is minus 14.5. Minus 14.5 is the right answer for the question. So go through like this, my dear students, don't get confused. This is one of the important question regarding entrance point of view. We find such type of questions, so don't be lose your confidence. Maximum you have to try, to find the proper answer. Clear? Next question, number 32. Mm. Which of the following involves both the calcination and carbon reduction process to obtain metal from its ore? None of this. Calcium from calcium carbonate, zinc from zinc carbonate, copper from copper sulfide. Copper sulfide means copper pyrites. So here this is also very important. One is calcination, second one is the reduction process. ZnCO3 gives rise to ZnO plus CO2. This is called as calcination. Calcination is applied for carbonate ores. Carbonate ores undergoes calcination. Sulfide ores undergoes roasting. Metallurgy compulsory question for entrance. Carbonates undergoes calcination, absence of air. Sulfides undergoes roasting, presence of air. So zinc carbonate, siderite, it is also called as siderite, and decomposes gives rise to ZnO plus CO2. ZnO you should add C, coke, Zn plus CO. This is called as reduction. So zinc from zinc carbonate is the right answer for the question number 32. Suppose you should go with calcium from calcium carbonate. Calcium from calcium carbonate, CaCO3 gives rise to CaO plus CO2. CaO gives rise to Ca. It is a self electrolysis. First is a calcination. This is called as calcination. Because of carbonate minerals, carbonate ores undergoes calcination, and this second process is said to be it is a self electrolysis. This is not reduction. Calcium oxide not reduced to calcium under ordinary reducing agents. It is calcium, magnesium. Those are they not easy. That oxides are not easily reduced. It is alkaline metal oxides, especially it is. So this second reaction, the option 1, 2 involves one is a calcination, second one is self electrolysis. Calcination and self electrolysis. Suppose one more option was there, that is copper from copper sulfide. Copper sulfide Cu2S, you go. Cu2S, if you should go with Cu2S, Cu2S plus O2 gives rise to Cu2O. See, this is called as what is it? Roasting. Three types of roasting: oxidizing roasting, sulfatizing roasting, fluoridizing roasting. Different type of roasting sources. So sulfide ores undergoes roasting. This is not what about that? This is not calcination process. So here on the basis of that we have to find 3 by 2. We should go with 3 by 2 here, and 3 by 2 O2 it is 2 Cu2O plus Cu2S gives rise to Cu plus SO2. This two reactions was there in that extraction of copper. This is called as blister copper. Blister copper means why it is called as blister copper means it is liberate sulfur dioxide vapors. It liberates sulfur dioxide. So these are the steps involving for with respect to the fourth option, copper from copper sulfide. Copper from copper sulfide, we should go 3 by 2 O2 gives us to Cu2O plus SO2. Cu2O plus Cu2S gives rise to what? It is Cu plus SO2. So according to the what about that? This is called as self reduction. This is. But first is roasting, second is reduction. First roasting. What the question here? Calcination and reduction. Calcination and reduction, both processes we observed. Which of the following involves both calcination and carbon reduction means the option is zinc from zinc carbonate is only the right answer for this question. Zinc from zinc carbonate is a proper answer for this question. So you should go with that. And next one, 33. A solid X on heating gives CO2 and a residue. The residue with H2O form Y. On passing an excess of CO2 through Y in H2O, a clear solution of Z is obtained. On boiling Z, X is reformed. What is X? This is many times repeated entrance question. It is the X is here calcium carbonate only. How to find the answer? 33. CaCO3 decompose gives rise to CaO plus CO2. This is a residue. Residue plus water. This is Y, calcium hydroxide. On passing an excess of CO2 through Y in H2O, calcium hydroxide plus CO2 plus water gives rise to calcium bicarbonate. Calcium bicarbonate. This calcium bicarbonate is Z. This is Z. Calcium bicarbonate on strong heating gives rise to what? Calcium carbonate H2O plus CO2. Clear, my dear students? This is a very simple question. A solid X on heating, a solid in X on heating liberates CO2 gas and formation of residue. The residue with H2O form Y. The residue H2O, the residue with H2O form Y. Y is what? Calcium hydroxide. On passing excess of CO2 and water to Y gives a clear solution Z. Z is called as calcium bicarbonate. On boiling calcium bicarbonate again reformed, what is X? Calcium carbonate again liberate H2O and liberate CO2 gas. So direct question it is. Alkaline earth metals many times repeated in this question. So don't get confused. Very easy to find the answer it is. Next 34. It is a practical chemistry background question. It is a solution of a metal ion when treated with Ki gives a red precipitate which dissolve in excess of Ki to give a colorless solution. Moreover, the solution of metal ion on treatment with a solution of cobalt 2 thiocyanate gives rise to deep blue crystalline precipitate. The metal ion is what? A solution of a metal ion when treated with potassium iodide. Potassium iodide. Ki gives red precipitate. Red precipitate generally nothing but we will go with the answer is for this question Hg2 plus Ki. Hg2 plus Ki, 2 Ki. Then what we will get the answer is HGI. HGI is called as mercuric iodide. It is HGI2, sorry, HGI2 plus 2K plus. So this is what it was given. Solution of metal ion. A solution of metal ion when treated with Ki gives red precipitate. Scarlet or red. Scarlet. Then what happens? The precipitate which dissolves in excess of Ki, HgI2 plus Ki gives rise to K2HgI4. We know this is very important. Nessler's reagent it is. Nessler's reagent already which can use it to the detection of what about that ammonium ion. Ammonium ion can be find out by using the Nessler's reagent. Salt solution plus ammonium ion gives rise to red precipitation, reddish brown precipitation we observe. So up to second line, precipitate which dissolves in excess of potassium iodide to give a colorless solution, that is Nessler's reagent. Moreover, the solution of metal ion on treatment with a solution of cobalt 2 thiocyanate gives rise to deep blue crystalline precipitate. The metal ion is so here Up to this it was good. Hgi2 plus 2ki, we should go with 2ki, we will get K2Hgi4. This is called as a Nessler's reagent. It was there in that laboratory, colorless. And next step is what means the metal ion Hg2 plus CO2 plus. CO2 plus is nothing but cobalt 2, cobalt 2 thiocyanate. Thiocyanate we know SCN minus. SCN minus is thiocyanate minus. Thiocyanate minus gives rise to, it gives one complex compound, that is Hg COSCN. HgCOSCN. This is what about the color? Deep blue. Deep blue here. Thiocyanate gives rise to deep blue crystalline precipitate. The metal ion is what? Cobalt, mercury, 2 plus copper, lead, cobalt. So here the metal ion, it is HgCN. Here we should take it as 4. 4 yes. Mercuric, mercury it is, we should go with mercury tetrathiocyaneto cobalt 2. Cobalt 2 it is. Cobalt it is plus 1, 2. So here this will be the process regarding this. Once again I would like to explain this question. Here it is. You should take any one of the metal ion, a solution of metal ion when treated with potassium iodide. Hg2 plus, here the correct example for this one, because of we expect such type of questions for entrance. Hg2 plus 2Ki gives rise to Hgi2. Hgi2 is nothing but red color. This red color compound is dissolved in excess of potassium iodide, we will get Nessler's reagent. Nessler's reagent, that is colorless. Moreover, the solution of metal ion is treated with cobalt 2 thiocyanate. Cobalt 2 thiocyanate gives rise to deep blue color crystalline precipitation. Deep blue color crystalline precipitation. Then what is a metal ion? Means the metal ion is Hg2 plus. Suppose if you find like this type of questions, that will be useful. Suppose if you get this question direct, already you faced this question in our JEE Grand Test. So suppose this question will be repeated in entrance, easily find the answer it is. So this is based on the practical chemistry. Practical chemistry background this question was designed it is. So that's why you should go with these 3 reactions, examples reactions. And if you observe for upcoming entrance point of view, this question directly appeared, you should go with mercuric. Mercuric is the right answer for this question it is. So that will be the end of the question number 34. Next 35. Simple 35. Which of the following is not stabilized by hyperconjugation? Hyperconjugation, simple it is hyperconjugation. We required delocalization of sigma bond. Delocalization of sigma bond. When sigma bond delocalized means it is conjugation with pi bond. It is conjugation with positive charge. It is conjugation with pi bond. It is conjugation with positive charge. It is having any alpha hydrogens. These are the conditions. When delocalization means it required what hydrogen atoms? Alpha hydrogens we required. So what the question from this means, which of the following is not stabilized by hyperconjugation? Which of the following is not stabilized by hyperconjugation means here alpha hydrogens was there here, like this delocalization will be there. This is stabilized by hyperconjugation because of it is a secondary group, secondary alkyl group stabilized, primary alkyl stabilized. This is also secondary alkyl stabilized, but this is a cyclic compound. It is cyclic compounds are not stabilized by the hyperconjugation. Cyclic compounds are not stabilized by the hyperconjugation because of here we should the cyclopropyl bonding orbitals a little bit. What will be the stability factor for this cyclopropyl carbocation. Not it is cyclopropyl carbocation, methyl cyclopropyl actually it is. Methyl cyclopropyl it is. So what is the stability of this cyclic ring? The stability of the cyclic ring can be explained between the interactions between the cyclopropyl cyclic ring versus or vacant orbitals. Because of carbocation is what about that sp2 carbon. sp2 carbon means one vacant p orbital will be there. One vacant p orbital and structure is bent structure. Structure of carbocation is a bent structure, sp2 carbon, and one vacant p orbital is there. The interactions takes place between the cyclopropyl ring versus vacant p orbitals. That only the responsible for this stability, not for hyperconjugation. Already I was given in that general organic chemistry topic, stability of carbocations and stability of carboanions. It is also, this is called as cyclopropyl methane carbocation. Cyclopropyl methane carbocation. This is more stable. It is more stable than tertiary alkyl groups or tertiary alkyl carbocations, benzyl carbocations, allyl carbocations, tropylium carbocation, whatever the carbocations was there, the carbocations all are less stable compared with this. Why it was more stable? This is important. You make a note, my dear student. This is called as cyclopropyl methane carbocation. Cyclopropyl methane carbocation is an example for primary. This is a primary carbocation. Greater the stability of stability factor can be explained in the form of bent structure of sp2 carbon, which having one p orbital, vacant p orbital, and interactions takes place between the vacant p orbital versus cyclopropane cyclic ring. On the basis of that, that is stable, but the stability of the compound is not expressed in the form of hyperconjugation. So here this will be the right answer. Fourth will be the right answer for this question. Fourth option, the bonding. Cyclopropyl bonding orbitals. Cyclopropyl bonding orbitals with vacant p orbital. Cyclopropyl bonding orbitals with vacant p orbitals. This is not per. What about that? General, it is a hyperconjugation. Hyperconjugation is not satisfied with this one. Starting 3 will be satisfied with that one. In fourth example also we have that. What about that? We have the alpha hydrogen, but that fourth example is not so good. Not so good it is. Next question number 36. An organic compound A having molecular formula C2H3N on reaction gave another compound B. Upon treatment with nitrous acid, B gave ethyl alcohol. On warming with chloroform and alcoholic KOH, it formed an offensive smelling compound C. The compound C is what? We have to find the compound C. Simple question this is. Organic compound A having the molecular formula C2H3N. C2H3N can be written as CH3 single bond Cl. Ethyl cyanide. This is called as ethyl cyanide, or it is also called as ethane nitrile. Ethane nitrile. Anyone. Molecular formula C2H3N. On reduction gave another compound B. Reduction of cyanides. Reduction takes place in the presence of lithium aluminum hydride. Then answer is the CH3 CH2 NH2. This is called as a primary amine. This is called as primary amine. This primary amine is nothing but this is the B, and this primary amine upon treatment with nitrous acid, B gave ethyl alcohol. Treatment with nitrous acid, HNO2. Reaction is called as diazotization. Diazotization, what we will get? CH3, CH2N2 plus Cl minus, and decompose gives rise to CH3, CH2OH. This is a ethyl alcohol. So statement 2, B. Upon treatment with nitrous acid, B gave ethyl alcohol. On warming with chloroform and alcoholic KOH. Same B. Warming with chloroform plus alcoholic KOH. This is a generally isocyanide test. Isocyanide test gives rise to, what is the answer is CH3, CH2, NC. Ethyl isocyanide, which is a characteristic smell. This is C. So once again you go with that question, my dear students. An organic compound A having molecular formula C2H3N. C2H3N can be written as CH3CN methyl cyanide or ethane nitrile. This ethane nitrile on reduction of cyanides gives rise to primary amines. This is a B. Primary amine is a B, and this is B. Step 1, nitrous acid gives rise to unstable diazonem salts, and decompose gives rise to alcohols. On other hand, what it was doing, chloroform plus alcoholic potassium hydroxide. Chloroform plus alcoholic potassium hydroxide, it forms a offensive smelling compound C. The compound C is what? What is the compound C according to the question? It is according to the question, the compound C is this one. What about that? CH3, CH2, NC. This is the right answer. That will be the right answer for the question number 36. CH3C and reduction gives rise to amines, primary amine. Primary amine undergoes diazotization gives diazonium chlorides. Diazonium chlorides unstable to produce alcohols. Diazonium salts, primary amines treated with chloroform and potassium hydroxide. This is carbylamine test or isocyanate test, gives rise to foul smell, that is offensive smell, that is phenyl isocyanide, or here in this case ethyl isocyanide. So right answer is ethyl isocyanide. Simple question. 36 it is. This type of questions are very, very important. So utilize your skills to find the proper answer. And 37, R in the given reaction sequences. Very easy question it is. 37, benzene given, CH3COCl, AlCl3, P, HCN, Q, not Q, Q, H2O slash acid, dilute acid, R. R is equal to question mark, very simple. Step 1, benzene plus CH3COCl. Reaction takes place in the presence of anhydrous AlCl3, gives rise to, the answer is COCH3. This is called as acetophenone. This reaction is called as Friedel-Crafts acylation. Friedel-Crafts acylation is an example for electrophilic substitution reaction. Friedel-Crafts acylation is an example for electrophilic substitution reaction. And the next step was given, it is HCN. HCN we should write H plus and Cn minus. Addition of H to this side, addition of Cn to this side. Then what we will get, the answer is same answer, very easy. This is C, it becomes OH. This is a CH3 as it is. Here one nucleophile will be attached. This is Q. This is P. This is P. This is Q. This is an example for nucleophilic addition. Nucleophilic addition reaction. Aldehydes and ketones undergoes nucleophilic additions. One good example for nucleophilic addition is addition with hydrogen cyanide. So that is Q. And next one is what? Q1 hydrolysis. Hydrolysis in the presence of acidic medium. Then Cn is converted into COOH. Hydrolysis of cyanides gives rise to carboxylic acids, and as it is remaining is as it is, then we will get the compound is this one, 1, 2. 2-phenyl, 2-hydroxy, 2-methyl acetic acid. 2-phenyl, 2-methyl, 2-hydroxy. See this. 1, 2. 2 carbons means acetic acid. 2 carbons is ethanoic acid, not acetic acid, ethanoic acid. 2-phenyl, 2-hydroxy, 2-methyl. PMH. PMH means first H. 2-hydroxy, 2-methyl, 2-phenyl, ethanoic acid is the right answer for this question. Simple technique we have to apply. First step, Priddle-Crafts acylation, electrophilic substitution reaction. Second step, nucleophilic addition, because of aldehydes, ketones undergoes nucleophilic additions. Third step, hydrolysis reactions. So according to that, the right answer for this question is this one. This is the right answer. I think this is third one. This is COH, CH3, COH. OH, CH3, COH, C. Right. This is the right answer for the question number 37. Next one is 38. Correct IUPAC name of the following alkenes. So this is a question, my dear students. Very simple question. This is EZ nomenclature is there. E means enemies. Enemies means trans. Z is friends. Friends are means nothing but cis. Already alkenes undergoes cis and trans isomerisms. Due to the free rotation is not possible. Due to the presence of double bond between two carbon atoms, so free rotation will be restricted. It is. So on the basis of that, those undergoes cis trans isomerism. Cis trans isomerism, or it is also said to be EZ isomerism. E means enemy. Enemy means trans. Opposite side is trans. Same side is cis. So here this is a double bond. This can be written as like this, double bond. C. Here what it is? CH2, CH3, CH3. This is CH2, 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 CH3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Next is CH2, CH2, CH3. This is propyl. It is butyl. This is also methyl, and it was ethyl. It is a more molecular weight 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1 same side, 2, 2 same side. In double bond, 1, 1 same side. In double bond, 2, 2 same side. So or else you should go with 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, or in double bond 1, 1 same side, 2, 2 same side means we should go with 4 different functional groups was there. For these 4 different functional groups, we should go with the EZ nomenclature. So EZ nomenclature, and here we should go with that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is 8 is called oct. 8 is called oct. 2 options was there, oct regarding oct. And for that oct, 3 methyl, 4 propyl, 3 methyl, 4 propyl, 3 methyl, 4 propyl, octene, 3 methyl, 4 propyl, octene, 3 actine, 3 octane. 2 options was there, option 1, option 3 same will be there. 3 methyl, 4 propyl, 3 actine, 3 methyl, 4 propyl, 4 propyl, 3 octane. But first option E will be there, second option, next option Z is there. So for this it is a Z. So this is called as Z, 3 methyl, 4 propene, 3 octane. According to the groups, we should go with it is 1, 2. It is 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 2 same side. 1, 1, 2, 2 opposite side, cis same side, trans. That is a technique to find such type of questions. So it is a third option, Z 3 methyl 4 propyl octane 3 octane. Next 40. 40 concept background question. This is concept of chemical kinetics. Which of the following statement is not true? For first order reaction, straight line graph of log A minus x versus t is obtained with slope k is equal to what it is minus k by 2.303. That is correct because of k is equal to we know 2.303 by t log A by A minus x. This is the first order rate constant derivation it is. So log A minus x axis, y axis, and next is this what about the versus t. T is y axis. So straight line minus k by 2.303. This is a slope. First statement is right. First statement is right, and second statement, for third order reaction, the product of the T off and initial concentration is initial concentration A is constant. For third order reaction, question number it is 39. For any order, T half is equals to 1 by A power n minus 1. This is the formula. T half is equals to 1 by A power n minus 1. Substitute n is equal to 3. Then T50 is equal to 1 by A square. Then T50 here k you should take. T50 into A square is equal to K3. K3 means it is third order. So what Deepa said, it is for third order reaction, the product of T off and initial concentration A is constant. The for third order reaction, the product of T off and initial concentration A. Initial concentration, why it is initial concentration, not A, it is initial concentration, it is A square. A square is a constant. Instead of that, it was given A is constant. So this is a wrong statement, my dear students. This is a wrong statement. And next, Arrhenius graph it is. Third option, a plot of log k versus 1 by t gives a straight line graph for which slope is minus EA by 2.303R. Same graph it is log k 1 by t. Here also slope you will get minus EA by 2.303R, right? It is a Arrhenius equation. From this we will get, this equation will get from k is equal to a into e to the power of minus EA by R. From this log k is equals to log A minus EA by R. This is Arrhenius equation. This is said to be intercept log A. Log A intercept and minus EA by 2.303 R is a slope. So third option is also correct. And units of K for the first order reaction are independent of concentration units. Concentration units moles per liters per second. First order units second inverse. So that is also correct. So according to the following statements, the second statement according to this availability here for third order reaction. For third order according to once you go through this. For first order reaction, straight line slope is minus k by 2.303. This is the third option. K is equal to a into e to the power of minus EA by RT is Arrhenius equation. Same slope we will get minus EA by 2.303 R. Plot a graph between 1 by t versus log k. And this is the second option, relation between half life versus whatever the rate constant. Half life versus initial concentration. T half is equal to 1 by A power n minus 1. 1 by A power n minus 1, here we will get A square. But the statement was given for third order reaction, the product of T off and initial concentration A is constant given. That is a wrong statement. So we should go with this one. This is a wrong, outright wrong statement. Next question number 40. Uh, 40. Which of the following has highest molar conductivity? Only one reason it is more number of ions. We required more number of ions. We should go with potassium hexacyanoferrate 2. Potassium hexacyanoferrate Ferrate you go with this one, K4 FeCN6, 4K plus FeCN6, 4 minus. Total number of ions 4. So more number of ions, molar conductivity is more. Least number of ions, least conductivity. Pentacarbonyl iron 0, tetramine dichloro dicobalt 2 3 chloride, diamine dichloro platinum 2. Whatever the examples was given on that examples, we are not getting the total number of ions is not getting. What about that more than 5 from potassium hexacyanoferrate. So the right answer is potassium hexacyanoferrate is the right option for the question number 40. And next one is 41. Match the following. Simple it is. 41. Column A, column 2. H3O plus, CH triple bond CH, ClO2 minus, NH4 plus, linear angular, tetrahedral pyramidal. One, two, three, four. A B C D. A B C D. Simple here. B1, NH4 plus, D3, H3O plus, A4. Next C2. Simple here, no doubt regarding this. A is 4, A4, B1, C2, D3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3 is the right answer for this question. What is question number? It is 40. 41, sorry, 41, question number 41 is B1, this is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right. A is equal to 4, pyramidal, B is equal to 1, linear, and ClO2 minus is angular, and NH4 plus is tetrahedral. Direct question this is. Simply you should go with hydronium ion pyramidal, acetylene linear, ClO2 minus angular, NH4 plus is tetrahedral. Out at it is a concept background question. This is. And question number 42. In which of the following polymers ethylene glycol is one of the monomer units? 42. Ethylene glycol plus phthalic acid, CH2OH, CH2OH plus we should go with C6H4, COOH, COOH. These two are the monomers. So answers was given. What about the CH2OH, CH2OH? So here, my dear students, this is a polymer. The polymer is called as glyptol. The polymer is called as glyptol because of here from this OH, water will be eliminated here like this. You should get CH2O, CH2O, CO, C6H4, nothing but C6H4 is nothing but what about that phthalic acid. Phthalic acid again CO like this repeats CH2 and CH2O. Once you go with this was a general explanation regarding this. Ethylene glycol plus phthalic acid. Ethylene glycol plus phthalic acid, which is present in the glyptol, and in this glyptol, ethylene glycol CH2OH, CH2OH, phthalic acid, carboxylic acid. From this to water elimination. This is an example for condensation polymerization. And in this condensation polymerization, you should go with the example option number. The first option is not proper printed. It is that's why. Just a minute. Wait 1 minute. The first option is something. Just I'll check that first option. First option will be not proper. So here, first option not proper. First, according to the options, it is that is you should go with this one. This third one. This is the third one. CH2OH, CH2OH. You have to break here. You have to break this side. Then it becomes you have to add H and this side OH, COOH. COOH, 1,2 dicarboxylic acid. Here COOH and this is also COOH, and this is the CH2OH, this is the CH2OH. So this is the right option for the question number 42. This is an example for condensation polymerization. This is an example for condensation polymerization. And next question number 43. At temperature 298 Kelvin, the EMF of the following electrochemical cell Ag solid Ag plus 0.1 m, Zn plus 2 0.1 m, Zns will be given inert cell is equal to minus 1.562 volts. So we know from that question E cell is equal to inert cell minus 0.059 by n log. According to that, according to this reaction, Ag plus concentration divided by Zn2 plus concentration. Because of Ag gives rise to Ag2 plus 2 electrons to Ag, and Zn plus 2 electrons gives rise to what it is? Zn2 plus. By adding this one, Zn plus 2Ag gives rise to 2Ag plus we done mistake just right. Zn2 plus 2 electrons gives rise to Zn. Is this cancel? 2Ag plus Zn2 plus gives rise to 2Ag plus Zn. So here the formula is inert cell minus 0.059 by n log Ag plus concentration divided by Zn2 plus concentration. Ag plus means here 2 molecules was there, you should go with 2. Because of in question given Ag concentration given 0.1 m and Zn concentration also given 0.1 m, and inert cell given how much it is? Inert cell is equal to minus 1.562 volts. Minus 1.562 volts was given, and from this equation n is equals to 2 electrons. N value 2 electrons, so substitute the values. E cell is equals to minus 1.562 minus 0.059 divided by 2 and log 0.1 whole square by 0.1. 0.1 get cancelled. Minus 1.562 minus 0.059 by 2 log what about that 10 power minus 1. 0.1 can be written as 10 power minus 1. 10 power minus 1, this minus to this minus plus. So minus 1.562 plus 0.059. 0.059 by 2 log 10. Log 10 value 1. So I will go with the minus 1.59562 plus 0.0295. So subtract this minus 1.562 0.0295. 5, 2, 4. 4, 1. 1.45 minus 1.5555. Okay. Minus 1.54. 3 it is right. 3 minus 1.5325 minus 1.532 volts. Yes, minus 1.532 volts option was there. That is third option is there, minus 1.532. 1 point minus 1.532 is the right answer for this question. So here once again I am explaining this question. Simple, you should go with this is the formula. E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0.059 by n log A G plus 2 concentration divided by Zn2 plus right side concentration divided by left side concentration. Right side concentration divided by left side concentration. Right side 2 molecules was there, that's why it was written power 2. Ag plus concentration given 0.1 m, Zn plus 2 concentration 0.1 m, E naught cell given minus 1.562. According to this equation, in value we are finding 2. Substitute entire values in this equation. We will get 10 power minus 1, 10 power minus 1, minus 2 minus plus log 10, it becomes 1. And you could subtract this one, we will get what is the answer is minus 1.532 volts is the right answer for this question. Here, question number it is 43. So go through that, and still some more questions was there. 44. Next. Question number 44. The pKa of acetyl salicylic acid, that is called as aspirin, is 3.5, and the pH of gastric juice in the human stomach is about 2 to 3, and the pH in the small intestine is about 8. Aspirin will be. So this is a outright concept background question it is. So here aspirin is nothing but orthoacetyl salicylic acid. Orthoacetyl salicylic acid is called as aspirin, one of the medicine which can reduce the body pains. And the pH of the body pains reduce it is 3.5. More consumption of aspirin, we should get acidic. That is the cause to ulcer. Because of in that stomach gastric juice was there, the pH of the gastric juice is 2 to 3, and the pH in the small intestine is about 8. Aspirin will be. Aspirin will be is 4 options was given, that is ionized in the stomach and almost unionized in the small intestine, and ionized in the small intestine and almost unionized in the stomach, unionized in the small intestine and in the stomach, and last one completely ionized in the small intestine and in the stomach. So here this is outright concept background question was it. So here we should go with unionized in the small intestine and in the stomach. Unionized in the small intestine and in the stomach. This is a complete concept background question. This is so you should read the question and find the proper answer for this. Because of aspirin is a weak acid. Aspirin is a weak acid and is unionized in acidic medium. Unionized in the acidic medium due to the common ion effect. You should write that point. Aspirin is a weak acid. Aspirin is a weak acid, unionized in acidic medium. This point you make a note regarding this. Aspirin is a weak acid and unionized in acidic medium. Just wait. Why it is unionized in weak acid means due to the common ion effect. Due to the common ion effect. And completely ionized in alkaline medium. So these points you make a note, my dear students, regarding the question number 44. Because stomach it is acidic medium, it is not completely ionized. It is. Ionized in the small intestine and almost unionized in the Stomach. Okay. We should make a mistake. It is we done. We should go with this one. Ionized in the small intestine and almost unionized in the stomach. Almost unionized in the stomach means now this will be this explanation will be justified. It is justification will be there. Aspirin is a weak acid because of the common ion effect. It is unionized in the acidic medium due to the common ion effect and completely ionized in alkaline medium. So ionized in the small intestine and almost unionized in the stomach because of gastric juice will be there. It is pH 2 to 3. It is acidic medium. It is. And next question, concept background. It is, you should go with that. And next question number 40 and 30 45. Question number 45. Paracresol react with chloroform in alkaline medium to give a compound A, which adds hydrogen cyanide to form the compound B. And compound B on acid hydrolysis gives chiral carboxylic acid. The structure of the carboxylic acid is what? What is cresol? Cresol means paracresol. We should take paracresol. So it is a question number 45. Paracresol. This is a paracresol. Paracresol react with chloroform in alkaline medium. Chloroform, alkaline medium. This is a Riemann-Tiemann reaction. So ortho position, you introduce aldehyde group. This is the Riemann-Tiemann reaction. Introduce aldehyde group in ortho position. This is compound A. And compound A which adds hydrogen cyanide. Addition of hydrogen cyanide to this nucleophilic addition reaction. H to this, Cn to this carbon. Then the answer is OH, CH3. Here CH, OH, Cn. Say this. Cyanohydrin, this is. Cyanohydrin, this is called as cyanohydrin. Addition of HCN, this reaction is called as a nucleophilic addition reaction, cyanohydrin. Hydrogen attached to the oxygen, cyanide group attached to the carbon. CCN, COHH. CCN, COHH. So this is said to be from the compound B. This is a B. And B on hydrolysis. This hydrolysis, what are hydrolysis? Acidic hydrolysis. Acidic hydrolysis H3O plus H plus. So what we will get? H3O plus H plus means this is OH, this is a CH, Cn converted into carboxylic acid, and here CH3. This is a final compound. OH, CH, COOH, OH, CH. 1, 2 means it is a 2. What about that? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2 hydroxy, 4 methyl, 2 phenyl. It is a 2. It is a 2 phenyl hydroxy methyl, and the total number of carbons, 2 carbons, acetic ethanoic acid, that is 2 hydroxy ethanoic acid. So it is one of the compound. So from that, what will be the right answer for this question? Answer is CH3 OH adjacent, CH OH adjacent. OH or CH2COH, OH. This is the right answer. Go with this one. OH, CH, OH, CHOH, COOH. Right, this is the right option for this question number 45. Clear. And next question number 46. The unit cell present in a cube shaped ideal crystal of sodium chloride of mass 1 gram or x into 10 power 21. the value of x is. So here simple, it is very simple question. It is NaCl number of atoms is equal to 4. So here we have to find unit cells. 4 into 58.5 grams of NaCl is equal to 6.023 into 10 power 23. That is Avogadro number of unit cells, cube shaped ideal crystals of NaCl. 4 into 58.5 grams of sodium chloride contains 4 into 58.5 grams of sodium chloride contains 6.02 into 10 power 23 Avogadro number of unit cells, unit shaped ideal crystals. So here what we have to find with respect to 1 gram. 1 gram of NaCl gives rise to how much? 1 into 6.023 into 10 power 23 divided by 4 into 58.5. 4 into 58.5, on simplification we will get what will get 2 to the 4, 2 3 the 6, 2 to the 4, 2 5 is 100, 100 means 30. So on will get this 30 means after simplification we will get the right answer 6.023 into 10 power 23 by 4 into 58.5 is equal to, according to 2.56, 2.5 to 2.57, 2.54, all are near the values. So for this we have to wait, we have to do the calculation. This is 6 by 4 after calculating the part we will get answer is 2.57 to 10 power 21. So what is x is equal to 2.57? You should go with that because of on doing calculation, because answers are closer to each other. Answers are closer to each other means we should go with proper exact answer. It gives rise to the correct correct solution it is. So 2.57 after substitute the values. This is a process. 4 into 58.5 grams of NaCl contains 6.02 into 10 power 23 unit cells. This much unit cells present it is. So here 1 gram of NaCl contains how many unit cells? This question is repeated many times. So right answer is 2.57. You do, then you will get the answer. You solve the question it is. And 47, very simple question. This is surface chemistry. 0.008 grams of starch is required to prevent coagulation of 10 ml of gold sol when 1 ml of 10% NaCl solution is present. The gold number of starch solution is. So it's very simple, my dear students. Such type of questions easy to find the right answer within 10 seconds. Gold sol numericals. 10 ml with respect to milligrams. This point keep in your mind. The numericals which are based on the gold sol 10 ml with respect to milligrams. So once again you should go through question. 0.008 grams. 0.008 grams given. This is not milligrams. Starch is required to prevent coagulation of 10 ml gold sol. So 10 ml was given. So don't bother about this 10 ml of gold sol. So here what to do means, here this grams is converted into milligrams. The grams are converted into milligrams means simple here. That is equal to 0.008 into 1000. 1, 2, 3. So it is answer is 8. What is the gold number for this question is 8 is the right answer. Simple, there is no risk for this type of questions because of gold number numericals based on 10 ml with respect to milligrams. In this question 10 ml only given. Suppose there was given 100 ml, then we have to calculate 100 ml it is. For 10 ml it is 80 milligrams. For 100 ml how much? Like that. Next model exam, next different still some more exams was there, grand test exams. On that different type of models we should approach, and we have to find the that instead of 10 ml there was given 25 250 ml, 25 ml was given, how to calculate, we have to discuss at the time. So right answer is 8 for this question, and next one is 48. A hydrocarbon X having molecular weight 70 gives a single monochloride but 3 dichlorides on chlorination in the presence of ultraviolet light. The number of carbon atoms in hydrocarbon X is. So simple here, 48. The hydrocarbon is cyclopentane. CH to take in 5. CH to take in 5 means what is the answer? C5H10. 60 plus 10 is equal to 70 molecular weight. We should take cyclopentane. We should take cyclopentane. Chlorination. Monochloride. A hydrocarbon X having molecular weight 70 gives a single monochloride, but 3 dichlorides on chlorination in the presence of ultraviolet light. Same cyclopentane, UV light, chlorination, 1 dichloro, 1 dichloro, 1 dichloro. See this. 1 dichloro, 1 dichloro, 1 dichloro. 3 chlorination products we expect when cyclopentane undergoes chlorination in the presence of UV light. Or ordinary monochlorination will get only 1 chloro. So in this example, how many carbons are there total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the right answer is 5. 5 is the right option for the question. Organic chemistry it is. Next question number 49. HClO3 gives rise to 3HClO3 gives rise to HClO4 plus Cl2 plus 2O2 plus H2O. So we have to find the equivalent mass of the oxidizing agent. Given HClO3 gram molecular weight, given how much it is? 84.45. So oxidation number it is plus 5 plus 7 0. This is oxidation reaction. This is reduction reaction. One is oxidation reaction, second one is a reduction reaction. Species which undergoes oxidation is reducing agent. Species which undergoes reduction is called as oxidizing agent. So what is the question? The equivalent mass of the oxidizing agent is plus 5 to 0. Oxidation number decreases 5 times. Oxidation number decreases 5 times because of HClO3 gives rise to Cl2. Cl2 0, HCl5 5. This is a oxidizing agent. So what is the equivalent weight? Equivalent weight is equals to 84.45 divided by 5. 5 ones are 5. 34. 5 6 then 44. 5 7 5 7 35. 5 8 40. 5 9 45. 16.89. 16.89 is the right answer for the question. It is where it is question number 49. It is 16.89 is the right answer because of it is a process to calculate This is a oxidizing agent. If it is reducing agent means +5 to +7. That's why the question was made by it is oxidizing agent. So number of electron transfer from reactants to products, it is only 5 electrons. So 84.45 divided by 5, obviously we will get what about the answer is 16.89. Clear. And last question for this session, entire session, it is 2, model 2. A diatomic molecule has a dipole moment of 1.2 d. If the bond distance is 1 angstrom, 1x of an electron, what about that? Of an electronic charge exists on each atom, the value of x is what? So generally we know that formula dipole moment is equal to charge into distance. Charge into distance. Distance was given here, charge not given. Then we have to calculate charge. Question number 50. Dipole moment is equals to charge into distance. So charge is equals to dipole moment by distance. Dipole moment given how much it is 1.2. 1.2 into 10 power minus 18 divided by 1 into 10 power minus 10. 1.2 into 10 power minus 18 divided by 1 into 10 power minus 10, because it is a angstrom. 1 angstrom is equal to 10 power minus 8 centimeters, 10 power minus 10 meters. On the other hand, we should go with 10 power minus 8 centimeter, because of it is a 8 we should go with, which is electrostatical units. 10 power minus 18 d by 1 d by is equals to 10 power minus 18 electrostatical units. It is electrostatical units, that is in CGS pattern it is. So what is charge? Is equal to 1.2 into 10 power minus 10. Charge is equal to 10 power minus 10, but here we have to calculate what is the value of x. Electronic charge. Electronic charge, already we know that the charge of electron is equal to 4.8 into 10 power minus 10. The charge of an electron is equals to 4.8 into 10 power minus 10. But here what will be the charge we will get in this example? Charge is equal to 1.2 into 10 power minus 10. So 4.8 into 10 power minus 10 by 1.2 into 10 power minus 10 we will get that is actually the value of 1 by x, actually that is 1 by x, 1 by x, and only it is right, or else it is difficult. 1 by x, just a minute. Is it 1 by x or not? What we have to search? 1 by x only, 1 by x it is. So here electronic charge, mm, 1.2 into 10 power minus 10 divided by 4.8 into 10 power minus 10. It is called as 1 by 4. So 1 by x. So what is x is equals to 4? X is equals to 4. So we make one correction regarding this. Correction means suppose 1 by x only it is. The fraction of an electronic charge, it is 1 by x. So here we make 1 by x. So the fraction of electronic charge. The fraction of electronic charge is equal to 1.2 into 10 power minus 2 divided by 4.8 into 10 power minus 10. It is nothing but 1 by 4. So it is 1 by x is equals to 1 by 4. So what is x means? X value is equals to 4. So this is about the discussion regarding model paper 2. So go through that, practice. I wish you all the best. Have a nice day. Thank you, one and all.